everyone, welcome to this updated video this morning. I really do hope that you have been doing really amazing. So we're going to be talking about what is going on in terms of the weather activity, but in addition, very early this morning there was an earthquake in the Caribbean, just offshore Cuba, right off the coast. There was a 5.9 shaking, an estimated 5.9 shaking. So we're going to be talking about that as well. So let's get straight into the details. So this earthquake took place at around 1 a.m. this morning. So, that is a time when most of us would be sleeping. And I'm in Jamaica, so I didn't feel the shaking. I mean, I was sleeping as well. Maybe I would have if I was up, but I did not feel the shaking. However, many Jamaicans who were up at the time had felt a jolt from that quake. But Cuba would have felt the worst of it because it is in a similar place as the pair of earthquakes that struck last month. I believe on the 10th of November, there was a 6.8 and a 5.9 foreshock and a 6.8 main shock, and there were several aftershocks. 5.9 is definitely strong enough to do some damage to poorly built or the older buildings, maybe even buildings that were already destabilized from the previous earthquake. So it is pretty likely that there has been some damage in Cuba, in eastern Cuba. However, I have not seen any reports of that, at least not yet. But hopefully everyone affected there is doing okay. And, the Caribbean is pretty much seismically active. So from time to time, we do get these shakings. And this earthquake took place along the Oriente Fault. And here's a look at the tectonic settings. So we've got the Oriente Fault that extends just along the eastern coast of Cuba. So again, that was the same place where the pair of earthquakes struck last month. And then we have another that's a pretty good shaking, a pretty decent shaking there as well. So unfortunately, these earthquakes are not predictable at all. We just got to have in the back of our minds what to do when they do happen to ensure that we protect ourselves and even our loved ones as best as possible. So that's what happened, guys. And I'll be keeping you posted as necessary on what is going on in terms of any seismic activity across the Caribbean region. And we want to go ahead and take a look at what is going on in the realm of weather. So here we're looking at the satellite imagery for the Caribbean, and we can see here that there is quite a bit of moisture noted in the region. So thanks to a surface trough and a frontal system which moved down, we're seeing that there is a lot going on right now. So lots of showers and thunderstorms, although much of these are offshore. But yesterday in parts of Puerto Rico, for example, the Dominican Republic, there's been a lot of heavy rain, and more heavy rain is anticipated later today. But because that frontal boundary had passed, some cooler air has set in to parts of the Caribbean. So the Western Caribbean, parts of Jamaica, Cuba, the Cayman Islands, even up to the Bahamas and to Central America, likely some cooler temperatures setting in because that boundary had passed and the cooler air is behind it. So let's look at the rainfall forecast for the next day or so. Here we are looking at it. And towards parts of Central America, maybe southern Belize, the Bay Islands, parts of northern Honduras, there could be some additional heavy downpours today. Not a whole lot of rain expected for much of the rest of Honduras. El Salvador likely to be on the dry side, and much of Nicaragua. But for parts of southeast Nicaragua, going to Costa Rica, Panama, San Andres, and Providencia, there could be some periods of heavy rain today. Again, there's a rain surge within that area. Northern South America, likewise. Colombia, all the way through the Guyanas. It gets pretty colorful, so there could be some periods of heavy rainfall today. And with all that heavy rain, there could be flooding as well in the low-lying areas. As we head to the Lesser Antilles, Trinidad and Tobago, all the way up through Anguilla, and even for the ABC Islands, there could be some passing showers, nothing too crazy. Similar thing for much of the Virgin Islands, and then for parts of Puerto Rico and Hispaniola, there could be some periods of heavy rain. Sections of Jamaica may also be quite active with some rainfall today, especially in the east, so that's going to be possible. And even the Cayman Islands, a couple showers may pass through. Cuba, a whole lot of rain not expected. And some shower activity will be possible for parts of the southern Bahamas as well as the Turks and Caicos Islands. So that is what is expected today in terms of the rainfall activity, guys. Nothing very crazy or major is going on across the region right now, but I'm still watching out for that next cool down. So I'll keep you guys posted as it pertains to that as time goes by. But that is it for this update video. So I really do hope you found it to be quite informative. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'll respond to you when I have the chance to do so. And remember to always be weatherwise.